right, you've made a good decision clicking on this video, because I promise you, after you watch this video, if you are generating leads for clients, you're running paid ads on Facebook to generate leads for clients or for services, whatever it is that you're doing, then you're going to save yourself a ton of heartache and a lot of time, and hopefully make yourself a lot more money, because the stuff that I'm about to cover isn't fluff like you see on YouTube for 95% of the time. It's just fluff, and the good stuff, hopefully anyway, is behind a paywall, but you need to join the mentorship or the coaching call or the school community, whatever it is, right? A lot of the shit, people are making money off it. I understand it. It is the way it is. You can't really escape it. Hopefully this video is full of value, right? So we're going to cover on how to actually generate good leads, good quality leads for clients, and get you the best results possible, or get your clients the best results possible, so they stay for as long as possible and make you very, very rich, okay? The first thing you want to fucking focus on, and I'm sorry for swearing, but the first thing you want to focus on is understanding that Facebook has moved away from interest-based targeting, and actually it's more about the creatives and what you put on these creatives, your copy, the actual creative itself, whether it's a static, whether it's a carousel, whether it's a video. What you put and include in these matters so fucking much. It's ridiculous, and people just look past this. They put this up, right? Roofing client, there you go, that's my creative. Homeowner, blah 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 blah, right? Homeowner, are you looking, is your roof leaking? And then people get burnt because you've got a picture of, 2, 3, 4 pictures of roofs, beautiful roofs, and your client is getting leads, but they're not turning into appointments, they're not turning into quotes, they're not turning into conversations with homeowners on site, or, consultations, or site surveys for the roof, whatever it is. Okay, I'm just giving you an example of roofing, but it's just a quick collage static, and yes, you're going to get people, but you're not going to deliver good quality leads because you're not doing other things. And quite frankly, this works, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, it works. I've got a client that I've got similar sort of creative that's been running for now for like 2, maybe 3 months. I've not touched it because it's producing good quality leads. But it's not just about this, okay? Because Facebook's algorithm is going to pick up after a month maybe or 2, or maybe after a couple of weeks of running the advert itself, that it's targeting the right people. People are commenting, people are engaging, they're coming through the instant form, and it's going to feed more people the same advert, okay? But initially, when you actually want to get good quality leads through and impress your clients straight away, there's a few things that you want to cover. So we're going to cover the first one, which is obviously your ad creative, your copy. These are like the most important things when it comes to lead generation, and your offer. Likelihood is, if your adverts aren't performing, if your cost per lead is super high, if you're getting shit quality leads through, likelihood is these 3 have something to do with it, okay? So, it's not about Facebook's a shit platform and the audience isn't mature enough, and, they're all just after the cheapest price possible. There's 45, 55 million, I think it is, UK users. So obviously I'm speaking for the UK, advertising in the UK, but America's a whole different world, to be completely honest with you. Creative, what works and what doesn't work, okay? Like I just told you, the creative that has 4 pictures, a collage, doesn't tend to work unless the service that you're advertising is very, very visual. What I like to do, and what I've seen work for clients, is if your client really wants to take it to the next level, is customer testimonial videos. Those work incredibly, incredibly well. People see other people like them, put themselves in their shoes, and they get emotionally attached to that end result that your client's products or services solve and provide, okay? So you have to think about the benefits that people get from using your products or your services, okay? I'm not going to keep on saying your clients' products or services. I'm just going to keep on putting it in this instance, okay? So the first one is your client testimonials. These work well, and people, especially when it's like the older generation, can attach themselves to to the types of people. Even to be honest, my generation, if I see someone that's like 25, 26, 27, my age, using a service or using a product, I'm more likely to take a little bit more interest in that. And I'm more likely to figure out what's going on, etc., and stop the scroll, I guess. That's the whole purpose of your ads and your creatives. The second thing is, to be honest with you, I'm just going to remove this and I'm just going to explain it to you that the structure should always be, or at least majority of the time when you're testing, should be this. Hopefully you can see this, by the way, because yeah, I guess you can. Go full screen if you're not able to see it, or get off your phone and go on the computer. But anyway, focus point. So I like to see my adverts as this. This is a static image where we call out the person that we're trying to target in terms of, for example, homeowners or whoever, okay? I know a lot about the homeowners and the home improvements industry, but quite frankly, you can call out anybody. And in this section here, you either call them out directly, the person that you're trying to target, or you call out the pain or the problem and somewhat even focus on the solution of the service or the product that it provides, okay? So for example, if I was advertising conservatory roof replacements where people struggle with, it's too hot in the summer, it's too cold in the winter, you could say, is your conservatory too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter? Or you could say, fancy using your conservatory all year round. Things like that. You can test these things, and obviously it's down to you as the marketer and advertiser to figure out what works well for the specific industry or the specific, industry that you, or target audience, sorry, that's the word, target audience that you're trying to reach. But main thing is you want to call these people out, whether it's through a title. Ideally you want to do title, but again you can A/B split test this where it's the same graphic, and obviously it can be something like a before and after split, or it can be the benefits of the product or somebody using the product, wherever it is, service, etc. So that's the way you can do it. And you can remove this and you can see, you can run two of them together, same creative, but without calling the homeowners or I'm relating to homeowners because I'm in that mode where I'm speaking to clients. I'm always speaking about homeowners because that's what my target audience is when I'm advertising. But regardless, targeted audience, you want to split test this, okay? Hopefully you get the point because I'm trying to rinse this point for no reason. Copy is the same fucking thing. A lot of the times, people will buy into stories. Try and do a little bit of a different approach with your copy. It doesn't just have to be, the first initial mistake that people make is features of the product rather than the benefits and the solution and the way it sort of solves the problems of the buyer. So you need to have a good understanding of the product that you're actually advertising, which is why I always urge people to go into industries, if you're starting an SMMA, to go into industries that they're familiar with, because you're going to understand the way your clients' customers think, okay? Copy is another thing. First line, you want to address the person that you're trying to target. It's the same thing again. People want to be shouted at and the pain needs to be shouted at. So it's the same thing from the creative and the copy. You basically want to shout at people, point at their pain, strike their pain points, offer benefits that your product or your service sort of solves or has. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it on copy. I mean, it's all about persuasive copy. It's all about a clear call to action at the bottom of it. Not having a mobile number, a website, an email, and then at the very end being like, oh, if you want a quote or if you want to book a consultation, then click the button below, okay? Keep things simple. Keep these things simple, because if you have that many things at once, you don't know where these people are going. Their attention is diverted to multiple different ways of contacting you, and a confused customer, confused viewer does not buy. And lastly, your offer. This is always a struggle for most people, and it goes back to the whole, if you're creative in your copy, speak about your offer, and it's money off, or it's % off, or it's something for free, whilst yes, it works in certain industries, in certain services, etc., or products, it's very, very difficult to get good quality leads when the whole focus of your campaign and your whole ad creative and your ad set is just on the fact that you're getting money off for the service. So if you're doing, for example, things like, let me see, I don't want to give another home improvements example because that's all I keep giving, but okay, dentists and Invisalign. If it's all about money off from the Invisalign, it's probably going to get people that can't afford it. So if you're stating prices in your adverts, which is one thing that's super important in your creatives, if you're working with a client and you're delivering leads, but the client is saying that, these people can't afford my services, then you need to implement things such as pricing into your adverts, into your creative and into your copy. I'd start off with the copy itself, see the drastic or the difference between that, having it nowhere at all and then having it in the copy. If it's still not helping, then start using it on the creative. But regardless, if you're shouting all about big offers, big money off and stuff like that, you need to get very creative. Now there's more and more people advertising for lead generation, and I don't mean agencies, but I just mean overall service-based businesses. There's a lot of people coming to the platform advertising. Not only is it getting more expensive, because Meta announced their budget recently, and the cost per impression has gone up. So yeah, it's getting more expensive to advertise on the platform, which means you need to be better at advertising. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of your clients' money, and you're not going to be delivering anybody good. So offer, copy, and creative is the first thing. Now, the second thing is instant forms. So when you're doing lead generation, you've really got, you have multiple ways of collecting the information from the lead. First one is the website. Don't send anybody to a website. If it's going to be the website option, obviously it's going to be a landing page. If it's the landing page, you're likely to pay a little bit more because they're leaving the platform. The user is leaving the platform. Facebook doesn't like that, so you're going to have to pay a little bit more. Likelihood is the leads that leave the platform to go onto a landing page to fill out a survey or a form or whatever on there are going to be better quality leads. That's what I've seen mostly for my clients, and that's what I can say to you. That's my experience. I've not sort of advertised in the millions where I can say concretely or definitely that that's what the way it is. But that's what my experience. My experience is taking people off the platform is a little bit more expensive, but they usually are slightly better. The second one is instant forms. I wouldn't send anybody to Messenger. I wouldn't have multiple options in terms of let's do instant forms and also send us a message or call in and all sorts of stuff, unless it fits the business. Majority of the time it doesn't. Majority of the time you want to collect lead information through a form, okay? So if we do instant forms, the way you want to do it is, firstly, it needs to be high intent. That's the option you need to choose, because high intent option allows the user or the viewer, somebody on Facebook, to confirm their details are correct before they submit. A lot of the times Facebook will autofill details for you, and it's not going to be correct because it's old, because the emails haven't been used, because all sorts of different stuff. So you want to be having this option ticked and make sure that they have the option to essentially check the details before submission. The second thing is conditional logic. Why pay to get unqualified leads? What is the point of paying Facebook and the platform itself to get somebody's details, contact information for your client when they can't afford the service, when they're looking at getting the work done in a year's time, or they're just looking for price? None of that is needed. You don't need to be paying and wasting money. So you need to include conditional logic in the forms. There's different ways I set it up. The way I do it now is slightly different, but usually you want a conditional logic question first, okay? This determines whether they're a decent or they're a good fit for what you're advertising, whether it's a service, whether it's a product. Affordability is one of the main things that you're going to ask. Can you afford XYZ, or our services start from $4.99, or a consultation usually costs £300, blah, 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 okay? Conditional logic, if they say yes, then they get sent to the form and they can fill out details, unless you want to collect more information about regards the services that your client is providing. If they say no, then they get disqualified. You can also do, it's either this or it's this, right? But what you can do is you can actually collect their information and give them to the business owner, but regardless, it's not the best way to do it. It's not the best practice. The best practice is to have it like this, where yes, they fit the condition that we've set. They then can proceed with the form. Again, it's high intent, so they check their details, they go through for the next thing, and then the next thing again comes back to, there's different ways of setting it up, okay? Because they've filled out the form, what you can do then is, if your product or service has, I always do this where I send a brochure, I allow them to go and download a brochure for the client's services. Works really well. They're more informed when they already submit their information. The chances are they're interested in the product and the services. So it's good to give them a little bit more information. Not only do they get hit with emails and SMS and all sorts of different stuff, but they have the option to download a brochure, whether it's a PDF, whether it's sending them to a website where it's a brochure's hosted online, whatever it is, they get a little bit more information. So it's something that it's important to implement, instead of just, getting their information here and then leaving it at that. They can leave the form and that's it. Give them a little bit more, because that then further increases the quality of that lead. They're going to be a little bit more informed. Get rid of these. And then the last thing, to be honest, because that's instant forms in a nutshell, depending on the amount of questions you're asking, I wouldn't be asking more than three to five questions max in terms of qualifying them for a project or for the service that you're doing. Don't go over the top with asking loads and loads of questions. You want the details first. You want to qualify them that they're actually a good fit through the instant form, called the conditional logic disqualification step, and then get in touch with them, have a conversation with them, and go from there. Last thing is, you want to track your data correctly, and you also want to essentially let Facebook know. So the way we do the instant forms, if we disqualify somebody, that feeds information straight to Facebook, and it says to Facebook, hey, this person wasn't the right fit for us. We don't want people like this. So Facebook's like, all right, mate, all right. Well, we want your money, so I'm going to give you a few more people that are similar to the ones that went through that conditional logic step and actually passed it. So that's the way it works. It very quickly builds up data that way. Otherwise, if you've got a form and you're collecting a few questions and then you're contacting them and disqualifying them, they're not picking the phone up, whatever it is, Facebook doesn't know that. They've delivered a lead. They think that's a good lead for your business. You're not giving them any information. So the thing to implement, the conditional logic step, is very fucking important. And lastly, on the back of this, in terms of your CRM, you want the Pixel installed. Again, Pixel is very important, and Conversions API is another thing that you need to be doing. If you're advertising and spending money and you've not got these two installed, whether it's on the website, whether it's in your high level, again, whether it's in your high level or CRM, whatever you're using, likelihood is you're probably using high level because you're watching SMMA videos on YouTube. Anyway, Pixel, Conversions API. Conversions API, lead comes in, it tells Facebook that we've received the lead, and then if it moves into the next stage, for example, an appointment booked or a consultation booked, or even better, they've paid, you then send that information over back to Facebook, telling Facebook, we want more people like this. This guy just spent money with us. We want more people like this from the adverts and the campaign that we're running. And Pixel, again, you're able to, majority of the times, retarget people, whether it's website, whether it's where you've got the Pixel installed, even if it's, for example, a third-party form on your landing page. So it's not only just for websites. It has that data, it's gathering data, and then you have to tell Facebook exactly whether the data is correct, it's right, and it's working for your business, or it's not. So you do these things and you have these things in place to do so. And that's pretty much it. One last little thing is always include exclusions. If you're using instant forums and you're running Facebook ads and you're collecting people, and you've done all these things that I've just explained to you, the last thing you want to do is have exclusions in your campaign. So somebody that's submitted a form successfully and you've contacted them or you've gathered their information, the thing you want to do is then you want to tell Facebook, stop advertising in front of this person. We spent money, we got that person's information, they're now a lead of our business. We don't need to keep on spending money and wasting that ad spend on this person, because it's guarantee you it's going to keep on showing your adverts to that person, even though they've already spent the time and effort into submitting their information and they're a lead of your business. And even further along the line, maybe they've already purchased whatever you're selling or whatever your client's selling. So you want to add exclusions. And that's pretty much it. I think I'll keep it at this. Hopefully this helps you, and hopefully it gets your clients a lot more leads. Hopefully it was of value. If you're interested in learning more about Facebook lead generation and all those sorts of things like I just covered, then check out my blueprint. I have a blueprint available right now. There's a lot of people that have downloaded it. A lot of people have learned a fuck ton of it, and it's full of value. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.